Greetings, geometry students. This is Dr. Heron coming back at you with 2.2. We're staying with this idea of lines and kind of some of the things that happens when lines cross each other. So we are going to start with basically some equations of lines, starting with what you have seen in algebra, and that is the slope-intercept form, the y equals mx plus b form. Okay, where m is your slope, which we talked about yesterday, and your b is going to be your y-intercept, and that is where it crosses the y-axis, and the y-axis is the one that goes up and down. All right, so for this example over here, y equals x plus 2. The plus 2 tells me I cross right here at positive 2, and I do. And my slope, I've got nothing in front of x, so that means x is a 1, so that means I go up 1 and over 1. So that is kind of how that works. Now, the pass is through -4, 2, and 1, 3. What a lot of people don't realize, a lot of students don't realize, is that when I have a point on a line, what that means is that satisfies, that makes this statement true. So I have y equals x plus 2, and I have a point -4, -2. If I put my x value in and my y value into the equation, this becomes a true statement. Okay, this becomes a true statement. So -2 equals -4 plus 2, which is -2. That is a true statement. Okay, likewise for 1, 3. If I take 1 for x and 3 for y, well, 3 equals 1 plus 2. Check, that's what that means. That means it satisfies that equation. So if I write a slope-intercept equation, so I've got a slope of 3 and a y-intercept of 2. So y equals mx plus b. So my slope is 3, my y-intercept is 2. So I'm going to write it like that. So now what does that mean? That means my y-intercept is right there. Slope of 3 means I go up 3 over 1, and I can continue that. There's my line. And that's all I'm doing. That's it. So now picking this off from the graph, I'm going to look at where do I cross my y-axis? I cross my y-axis right here. Again, same idea. I'm trying to write the equation of a line. So now, if I look, follow this along, where do I cross another corner? Kind of cross it right there. So that means I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So my equation becomes 5/3 x minus 1. That's basically it. That's kind of how I write the equation based on the graph. So now, what do I want to do here? Well, I've got a point and I've got a slope. So at 4, 6, which is right there, I've got a point, and I know my slope is 2, so I'm going to go up 2 over 1. There's my next point. How can I figure out my equation? Well, right now I've got y equals mx plus b, and I know that my x is 2. I need to figure out what my b is. Well, I can put 4 in for x and 6 in for y, and I can figure out what b is because that's the last remaining thing. So -2 is going to be b. So that means my full equation is going to be 2x minus 2. So I cross here. There's my equation. So all I did was substitute in for y and for x. Now, point-slope form. This is new, all right? And I want you to look very, very carefully because this right here is your standard form. So what does this require? Point-slope form requires two things. It requires an x and a y, a point, and the slope. Okay? So y minus 7 equals 6x minus 4. What does that mean? That means that this line has got the 0.47 with a slope of 6. So that means it's going to be 4, 7, slope of 6. I'm going to go up 6 over 1, which would be right about there. If I come backwards, it'd be like down 6, back 1. There's my line, okay? So that's kind of all I need. I don't need a y-intercept for this. I don't. That's kind of one of the advantages. I don't need that. So this is my given form, okay? So from there, I can graph my point. I can substitute in for x and y, and that's my answer. That's my equation right there, okay? But notice, it's x minus the y, an x value, y minus the y value. So if it becomes negative, then I'm going to switch it. So what do I have to do here? I'm going to do two things. First thing I'm going to do is figure out the slope. So I'm going to go negative 1 minus 3 over negative 2 minus 0. So my slope is 2. Now, if I was going to, now I can pick one of these points. So I've got y minus a y value, slope, x minus an x value. So I'm going to pick one of them. So I'll go y minus 3 equals 2 x minus 0. Technically, that'd be my equation. That would be it. I could also say y plus 1. Okay, let me back up and say y. It's going to be like y minus a negative 1, 2 x minus a negative 2. Those are both representations of this line, the line between these two. So 0, 3, negative 2, negative 1. There's my equation right there. That's it. All I do is plug in for x, plug in for y, figure out my slope, and that's it. I don't need to figure out a y-intercept. Is it nice to have? Yes. Is it necessary? No. Quick review of horizontal lines and vertical lines. It's kind of the opposite of what you would think. A vertical line is x equals, a horizontal line is y equals. So this one is going to be y equals 4. Horizontal line, please notice everywhere along here, the y value is 4. It doesn't matter what the x value is. This, x equals 3. Please notice the x value is always 3. Does not matter what the y value is. Even down here, this would be considered 3, negative 2. And my x value is always going to be 3 no matter what. So now let's practice some of this here. So if I've got this point and this slope, I'm going to do point-slope form. Okay, so that's going to be negative 6 and 7. So it's going to be y minus 7, negative 1/2 x minus a negative 6. So y minus 7 equals negative 1/2 x plus 6. That's my final answer. I'm done, no more. Slope of 0, okay? Looking back. That is my run forever, never ride. So that's my horizontal line, okay? Horizontal line means y equals something. So my y value is 5, so it's just y equals 5. Okay, so on a graph, what's that mean? I've got a horizontal line right here at 5. Down here for number 2, I'm going to go negative 6 minus 6 over 3 minus a negative 3. So that will give me negative 12 over 6, or negative 2 for a slope. Okay, slope is what we did on previously. So now, this is going to be y minus 6, 2x plus 3. I took this point, okay? That's my x, that's my y, and that's what goes in there. And the last one, this is my x, this is my y, so it'd be y minus a negative 7 times 4, x minus 0. So y plus 7 equals 4x. That would be fine. That's going to be my answer. Okay, get some practice with this and get your questions answered, and you're going to do a lot of finding slopes and putting this into point slope form.